Hello you hungry and malnourished people, this is Michael Burhan as the most sophisticated individual on the internet as I cook up a storm and hand you some brain food as you feast your eyes on a game that takes the zombie genre and tries to do something new and unique with it. It's a franchise where the main enemy is walking, talking, living dull, so to speak. If your dull is festering with boils and dead skin, they can only speak in one noun in order to show you how much they love you. Oh. Today, I take a look at one of 2016's most controversial games, but not for the reason you may think. No, young bucky. The internet was in an uproar over the fact that the protagonist of the game's voice actor changed. That's very Kojima of you to think of the fans and of the character would be okay with this Capcom, but in my honest, kind of well-educated opinion, I never really noticed. Didn't notice at all, actually, until it was pointed out for me, as I was tirelessly struggling away in order to accomplish my goals and complete the game's narrative. So the internet, please put on some Netflix and just chill. Now, as always guys, this review contains spoilers, so if you haven't played this game, I would rather you give this review a miss. And reason being is that I'm about to spoil a great big event that's happened in DeadRising 4, and I really don't want to do that to you. DeadRising 4 is an open world survival horror beat 'em up video game developed by Capcom Vancouver and published by Microsoft Studios for the Microsoft Windows and Xbox One platforms. It was announced at Microsoft's E3 2016 press conference on June 13, 2016, and it features the return of Frank West and is set in a Christmas-themed Willamette, Colorado. The game was released worldwide on December 6, 2016. The game is the fourth iteration of the DeadRising franchise and also the fourth to star Frank West, if you include DeadRising, Case West, DeadRising 2, and several ports of the initial game, including the collection pack, which was already recently been released on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 platforms. The game follows a rather aged and disgruntled protagonist of Frank West as he's having nightmares of becoming a zombie, with no explanation as to why he no longer needs Zombrex, or any murmur of how or when he was even cured. Seriously, I even checked the comic books. Frank was approached by one of his students, Vic Chu, about an investigation of a military compound in the guise of a game of mini-golf. Once inside, they discover that the place is being used for zombie research, but are discovered and forced to flee, with Frank labelled a fugitive after he is falsely accused of terrorism by the government. A few months later, near Christmas, Frank is found by Brad Park, an agent of ZDC, who convinces him to help investigate a new zombie outbreak that started at the Willamette during the Black Friday sales in exchange for a means to clear his name and having exclusive rights to the story, revealing that Vic has already left there to investigate the matter herself. Just as they arrive at Willamette, Frank and Brad's helicopter is hit by a missile, forcing them to make a crash land in the middle of the shopping mall. Upon confrontation of the zombies, they discover that they are infected with a new, more aggressive strain of the virus that previous treatments like Zombrex and are ineffective against. Frank eventually discovers that an elusive organisation called Obscurus is in the city looking for a monstrous creature called Kaldor. The playstyle was similar to DeadRising games prior. The game focuses more on in-game mechanics. As with DeadRising 3, you have a skill tree that helps Frank level up so that you can do more and defeat the higher level bosses. The game features a powerful in-game soundtrack with a haunting rendition of Oh Christmas Tree, and the game's story is fleshed out using a combination of cutscenes and in-game events. Gone are the timer elements of the previous game. In its place are more a diverse open world format. Terence J. Rotolo did not return to voice Frank West and was instead portrayed by Victor Nosolo. A representative for Capcom Vancouver, Tran Lee Amir, had stated that they wanted a more older and grittier Frank West and felt that Rotolo wasn't the right fit. Cue internet rage. Also removed was the extra time feature and repackaged as DLC. More on this at the end of this review. Another removal which I feel hurt the game more than it helped is the removal of the online story co-op. With the other iterations of the game, you had a chance to play through the story elements with a friend and well-wishers alike online. It was highly enjoyable and something that you could share with those that you loved or hated, depends on how you like to do these kind of things. But never fear, there is a co-op mode, but it's completely stand alone. You arm yourself with your friends in order to take out zombies in a limited amount of time. You can purchase weapons via your in-game currency, and with each mission accomplished you gain EP and in-the-game rewards in order to continue on and earn in-game achievements. It's kind of similar to the style of Left 4 Dead in a sense, where you have a safe house and you go from safe house to safe house, mowing down zombies in very new and effective ways. Also included in this nice are gold element weapons, which are the same weapons that you can construct in-game, but they are gold, so they're probably more durable in that sense. I've never actually come across them on my time playing the game, but still, it's something that you can enjoy if you grind enough. They also said that the reason why the co-op was removed, it was done in order to allow players to expand their crafting knowledge and use everything that they have near their feet. Basically, they have a more expansive crafting tool that they can use in-game, so they had to sacrifice the in-game co-op in order to actually make this happen. Tell me another one, Capcom. Another issue here is once completed, the story sees Frank West sacrificing himself in order to save the lives of Vic and the ZDC officer Pack as they escape the city in order to finally take down the Pentagon for the initial zombie outbreak. But that, my friends, was a lie. Frank will be deading up the DLC campaign called Frank Rising, which adds the timer back into the game, and this premise also sees Frank trying to cure himself of the zombie infection before it takes hold, and thus brings back the timer element and the extra time parts of the game that were missing. This comes in form of DLC, and it's kind of the same thing that companies have been doing since the turn of 2006 in a sense, where they will take a part of a game, pull that part out, that feature that the game usually has, and that we've all kind of accepted, and package it as DLC in order to say, oh look, this is something extra that we have in order for you to play. But in a sense, that's not the case. It's just a part of the game that's missing that they just wanted to hand back to you so you can pay extra for it. Now, does this hinder my overall view of the game? Well, not really. With the addition of the voiceover changes, and the game still warrants an awesome 4 out of 5. If DeadRising ended with this iteration, I'll be fine with it. I still feel that the game's humour is lacking from its predecessors, but I do believe that Capcom Vancouver are on the right track here, and the only way is up. The game has also hooked me into buying a season pass because I want to see what happens next. Will Frank stay dead, or will he rise and find a way back? We'll have to find out in regards to this Frank Rising DLC to see what happens and how the story is furthered. It's something that left me gritting my teeth and at the edge of my seat trying to figure out what the heck is going on next. Now, as always, ladies and gentlemen, this is only just my opinion, so if you agree or disagree, please leave a comment below and tell me your thoughts on the rather awesome DeadRising 4. And now I'm back working on a rather British YouTube channel. Let me know what games you would like me to take a look at and review. As always, your feedback is greatly appreciated, and this game has proven that the DeadRising is far from dead, and I hope to see where they take the franchise in the foreseeable future. And as always, this is Michael Burhan for another rather British review, saying that I've got gameplay. Have you?
Get the notes, take the pictures, get out.
Whoa, what's this? Oh no. Can't see a damn thing in there. This looks very not good. Hold that phone. Looking good. This outbreak is almost certainly some kind of test. It's probably run by these military jerk-offs. Food court zombies are the worst. Frank! Watch! Grab a gun, Frank! Good plan. You want some of this? Oh, shit! Shit, yeah!
Xbox One S, starting at $299.